Previously on Going Home with Eric and Nicole.
How to get any girl's attention at a party. Quick glance, smile, look at a friend, take a drink, look away, and bring them back. Flare the nostrils, soften it, bite the lip, harder, up the chest, mating call.
Okay guys, we're at the post office. We're here to get our passports for my son and my daughter. They are with us in the back. And so we are going to go in here and get it done. I can't film inside, but we'll get back with you when we come out, all right? An hour later, we're done applying for our children's passports. But some things that you may want to know. Please fill out all of your paperwork, read thoroughly through what the requirements are going to be, because they locked your appointment into 15 minutes. It was just, we met a nice lady, and she kindly took her time and worked with us because they didn't have any other appointments within that time slot. So it actually took us an hour because we were not totally prepared. So fill out all of your paperwork. Understand that your appointment should only take 15 minutes. And in most cases, they will send you away to do whatever you need to do. So fill out your deal, and then be on time, be 10 minutes early, so that you can get in and have everything run smooth. Hello, family.
Hey.
As you've seen in the scene prior to this, we were at the post office getting our passports and passports for our children. And we just thought it would be beneficial to you to really go more into detail than what we did in the last scene. Okay, so normally there's an option to expedite getting your passports done. I think that time frame is somewhere between 48 hours to 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
The normal time is maybe 6 to 8 weeks. However, we were not able to take that option based on Corona and so forth and so on. And so we had to do it the regular way. Now, from what I understand, it's about 3 to 4 month backlog. So we're going to have to wait. It could happen before then, but definitely, by the 3-4 month window, we'll be able to get our passport.
The good thing is that we're already packed up. So once that passport comes in the mail, we'll be moving forward with our trip. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad that part is over because it did take us about an hour, and that's partially my fault because I was not totally prepared. So if you have a name change and you need to update your passport, please don't make the mistake to think that your passport, and I know that everybody's smarter than this, but just in case. Don't make the mistake and have two different forms of ID or anything like that. You want to make sure that everything is lined up and it matches before purchasing tickets, before doing anything, visas, whatever. Just make sure it lines up. So what I did is I went to, after I found out online what application I needed to use, I did confirm that going to the post office, and she did give me this one, which is, and you probably, it might be different in different places, but this one is specifically for changing your last name. And the only thing that I had to take was my marriage license and of course my ID that has my new last name on there. So you will need this application form, and it says U.S. passport application. Oh wait, it's this one, I'm sorry. The top of it says, can I use this form? So this form is the DS-82. DS-82. And that is the form that you will use. If you can see that, I don't know. Yeah. But this is the form that you would use for passport renewal application and for changing your last name. So that was one thing that I had to take care of.
Thing I wanted to say was about the visas. You probably want to consider getting your visa in whatever country that you're in versus trying to get it after you get to the country that you're going to. That's going to be extremely important, just because there'll be long lines in the country that you land in, and you'll have to stay in that line and won't be able to leave the airport until you have actually secured your visa.
Now, what I understand is that there are some countries that are not even issuing visas once you get off the airplane. Like, you have to get your visa before you leave. And what everyone should be doing already is save some money. Save money, as much money as you can.
Well, the first thing is you want to decide where you're going.
Okay.
You know, because I think the money is going to play a part in that.
Right.
You know, some countries are cheaper than others, you know, cost of living, so forth and so on. But decide where you are going, and then do research on that place. Sorry to cut you off.
Okay, no problem. So you save as much money as you can after deciding. Well, no, the first thing would be to save as much money as you can, because that should be something that we should do all the time, right?
Gotcha.
Okay, so then knowing that you have a little money in the bank, then you decide, okay, we're going to make the decision to go somewhere. So we have money saved in the bank already.
By the way, I'm from Mars and she's from Venus.
So anyway, that money that's in the bank, and you've decided that you are going somewhere else. So now you continue to save, because now we're going to do what? Research.
Okay.
Based on the place. See, I'm also a storyteller, so everything has to be lined up. So anyway, as an author, you like to put the sequence of events in order.
Okay.
My order.
Go ahead.
So anyway, you save as much money as you can. You consider how much money it's going to cost you to move across the country, and you know, and then think of how much it's going to take for you, as far as the cost that includes your plane tickets, and you know, some of the shipping things that we talked about.
Yeah, you know, begin to check on various things as far as the government is concerned, where you're going, because you want to make sure you land and you're going to be staying in a safe place, a place that's not riddled with war, you know, or anything like that. You know, it definitely has to be a place that you can stay with and maintain and sustain yourself. So do research on the government, the president. What kind of guy is he? You know, what kind of laws have they passed? You know, are the people oppressed in that area? So forth and so on. So you want to definitely do research.
And housing definitely is something you want to take a look at.
Absolutely.
You know, if you're going to rent, when you get to that place, you want to make sure you have enough money for renting. One of the things that we did find out was that in that country, you have to, you have to actually pay for the year. that you're there.
Yes.
And so
that
that's
was a shock.
something, yeah, it was very shocking, but to me, I love the fact that you are secure, that you don't have to get there and wonder, what it is that you're going to have to pay. And, you can live that year knowing that your rent is paid. And, when you look at the currency and the difference of that, it's truly a blessing to be able to know that what you would pay in a month here in the United States is actually a year's worth of rent there.
Attention that you want to think about is actually going to your country's embassy website and finding out what documents you're going to need when you get there to handle things like banking accounts.
Yes.
And how you're going to do business, setting up a bank account and having the correct documents that you need. Speaking of documents, you want to make copies of all of your important documents, such as your passport,
right,
your visa, birth certificate, license, different things of that nature. Right.
Yeah. One of the other things that I wrote down here was plan ahead for healthcare. I don't know, sometimes when there might be someone out there that have health issues or, have to take medication or anything like that. We're blessed that we don't have anybody in our family that's on any type of medication, or are we concerned about, but we are concerned in the event that, we're going into a whole nother continent. So if something doesn't agree with us, then we know that we have something lined up. So you might want to research hospitals and research, the medical system.
So once you get there, you also want to have some money on the side for unexpected things. There are things sometimes that you don't know that's going to be required for you to pay. Like, for example, when you ship, if you do decide to ship items over, they have a fee that you have to pay in addition to it being shipped over to get it off of the port once it actually is delivered to the port.
Right.
So you want to also have money for unexpected costs that may be involved with you actually making that transition.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And so let's see here. One other thing is find out where you can purchase must-have items, especially if you decide that you're not going to ship those items and you feel like it would be more cost efficient to just move over there and purchase the items there. I'm talking about items such as kitchen utensils, bedding, furniture, or any appliances that you would need. Now, also keep in mind that most countries, they don't operate off the same wattage. So the plugs are going to be different, and there's an easy fix for that. You can just buy a converter, and that converter will allow you to use the appliances or devices that you have from where you live in another country. But definitely consider that as well. Also, you want to consider whether you're going to take your vehicle, and what costs are involved in shipping your vehicle over there. If you're not going to take a vehicle, kind of looking into, if possible, doing research on what kind of transportation they may have there to accommodate you from getting from point A to point B, such as taxis, bus lines, different things of that nature.
And we're still kind of going back and forth with what we're going to do with ours. I would love to take our vehicle because, being that we have 2 kids, my comfortability or comfortable level of, taking transit, with my children is something that I'm considering in a foreign country. I'm considering that, it's just, we're trying to weigh the options,
yes,
the pros and the cons, and he has more pros and I have more cons. So, so it's a balance. Right now, we're just still trying to make that decision.
Yeah.
That's going to, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
What's going to, help us with that decision is cost.
Yes.
So,
yes. And then I think also, we were talking about, bringing those important items. One of the things that I just thought about was if we did decide to bring our vehicle, if we're going to be operating a vehicle over there, we'll need those documents to get driver's license and, permits,
registration, and
insurance,
all that.
and, whatever they're going to be requiring over there to
or
drive.
We can just purchase a car once we get there.
That's an option as well. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Is there anything else you want to share with the people that you feel is important?
One thing I did just with watching a lot of different things about the different country that we're going to in Africa is that the roads are really bad and the gas is really expensive. So that was another pro that, he kind of talked about. So,
well, con. That was a con.
That was a con?
Con.
Oh,
yeah.
Con for you.
Well, cons are bad and pros are good. So the roads are bad.
Okay, you don't have to edit that.
Another pro for him. What the hell are you talking about?
So we're still kind of up in the air with that one, but we'll let you guys know what we plan to do.
Yes. One last thing before we end is wherever you're going, research the culture. Research the languages. What's the dominant language there? Yeah. Research anything that you can that will kind of help you with the culture shock that you will experience once you go. And although we've never been, we understand that it's on the other side of the world.
So it's best to get acclimated as much as you can because we do things a lot differently over here than wherever that may be where you're going or where we're going. So we understand that it's going to be different for us, but we're okay. We're up for the challenge. We're up for different. It's okay. So we're going to be growing our own food. And so I'm learning what I can learn here so that transition for us and what they're used to doing in that culture, it doesn't become such a big thing for me once I'm there.
Well said. I think this kind of ends our talk in terms of sharing with you some of the things you may want to consider before you make the move. We hope that everything that's been said has been extremely helpful, or at least as helpful to you all as it was to us.
Can I add something else?
Sure.
This is just a personal tip. Make sure when you make this decision that you are on the same page with your spouse.
Yes. So that is extremely, extremely important, for you and your spouse to be on one accord, especially when making a move like this.
Because you would hate to go to a whole nother continent not on the same page as your spouse. And I wouldn't choose to go anywhere else other than to Africa with my hubby.
Awesome. That is so sweet to say.
Yes. So you guys, we love you and we thank you for tuning in, and we invite you to continue on the journey with us, and we'll come back soon and we'll let you know some updates on what's happening with us on Going Home with Erick and Nicole.
And we're asking you to like, comment, what else?
Subscribe and share. Yes. Thank you. Love you.
Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Don't miss the next episode of Going Home with Erick and Nicole.
Mother, my question to you is, how do you feel about your son and your daughter-in-law and grandchildren moving to Africa?
For more detailed information on Going Home with Erick and Nicole, join our Patreon. Details are linked in the description. Thanks for watching.